let us begin with this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinyanti e bhuridajanaha. This is the nectar, that this is the teaching, practicing which one can become eternal and can achieve immense peace and bliss. So this is why they say Katha Amrita. Katha means the teaching, Amrit is that which gives us the eternity. We had already studied many pages, and last time we were discussing about the love, different type of love for God. There's a samartha, then samanjasa, sadharani, different varieties of grades of devotion to God. When the love for love's sake, that is called samartha. The name, that particular condition is called samartha, and where a person is loving God expecting nothing, the love for love's sake. There is a wonderful condition. Whenever we come to God, whenever we look at that God, go to shrine or church or any holy place, we have a prayer. And if we notice that in the prayer we are having so many things as a demand to God. Please do this for me. This, at least, please have mercy on me. Or please love me. Or please reveal before me. So all these at least there. There's a very high type of prayer, no doubt, but still that's the list of things are there which we are asking. But someone is there who is loving God only for love's sake. That is a unique condition of the mind, and that is called samartha, prema. That prema, the love for God, is not expecting anything from God. Then samanjasa and sadharani, we can understand. So mostly we practice, we follow, majority of the people, they follow sadharani. That is the love for God, respect for God, but in exchange, we want the protection, we want these and that. Now today, Master Mahasaya is giving a description, as a wonderful description of love of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna for those who love God. So that is, Master Mahasaya is recording. It was Wednesday, November 28, 1883. And today is November 29, only one day missed. So this November 28, right from the 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Master Mahasaya aim was waiting for Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who came at about 5 o'clock. So look at this. The devotee's eagerness to meet his own guru, his own preceptor, his guide, and eagerness to listen to the holy words, inspiring words, spiritual instructions. So he is waiting at 2 o'clock, where just in front of Keshav Chandra Sen's house. It's still there in Calcutta. This is called Circular Road, in front of Lily Cottage. This Lily Cottage is the name of the house where Keshav used to live. Keshav Chen, he was seriously ill, and he was awaiting the arrival of Sri Ramakrishna. Keshav's illness had taken a serious turn, and there was very little chance of his recovery. Since the master loved Keshav dearly, he was coming from Dakshineshwar to pay him a visit. That was, he was describing. Then he described on the east side of the circular road was Victoria College, and north of the college was a spacious garden house inhabited by an English family. There had been a death in the family. There was a commotion, and Master Moshe inquired. There was a death in the family. Now the Master Moshe is pondering over that. Inside the house where they will enter, there is a Keshav who is awaiting death, and just now he noticed another death in the neighbor's house, and he is thinking, where does the soul go, leaving behind the mortal body? Pondering the age-old question, aim waited. About 5 o'clock, a carriage stopped in front of the Lily cottage, and Sri Ramakrishna got out with Latu and several other devotees, including Rakhal. Prasanna, he came. Prasanna is a devotee. He came to receive the Master, and Master was very eager to meet the Keshav then and there. He wanted to go inside. But in those days, even now, it's much more. The people, they always follow some decorum. You have come, please wait over here, and he will come out, meet and all. Sri Ramakrishna, he used to love Keshav so much, he was eager to meet him, and whatever the purpose, that should be the first. That was his mental attitude. So he wanted to go inside the Keshav. He is sick. Why should I have to come here? I will go. But they told, no, sir, please wait, etc. And Master became a little angry and said, go away. It is you who are making all the fuss. Let me go in. Then Prasanna began to talk about Keshav in order to divert Master's attention. And he said, Keshav is now an altogether different person. Like you, sir, he talks to Divine Mother. He hears what the Mother says, and he loves and he cries. Moment he said that, the Keshav talked to Divine Mother, Master went deep into Samadhi. Then Master was in a state of intense divine intoxication. In the meantime, they put on the light and all those things, and here Master was talking with the Divine Mother. He was telling, oh, hello, are you here? Then, sitting himself on a couch, he began to lose consciousness of the outer world, and looking around as if seeing someone, he said, hello, Mother, I see that you too have come. This is very important. He has gone to see an ailing person, and there he is feeling the presence of the Divine Mother. How you are showing off in your sari. Don't bother me now, please. Sit down and be quiet. Look at it. And here the Banarasi sari, the Indian will understand, is a special kind of the women dress, and Mother wearing that Banarasi sari waiting there. I was wondering why the Banarasi sari, the Mother, as she was wearing at that particular time, she has come to attend the Keshav, to see Keshav who is going to die. And coming with all these dresses, and Sri Ramakrishna noticing this, he told, don't make any problem, sit down quietly. Let us wait, let him come. As because the death that we think of, it is totally different. I was just reading a few books, and I found the human body has 5 sets, we know, the kosha. Pancha, that means 5, kosha means different, cover. First is the Annamaya, that is the particular name has been given. The external body is called as Annamaya. Then next comes Pranamaya. then Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So these are the five. Of the five, the Annamaya portion of this body, when it is perishes, the first, the sith, the cover, when it is perished, then it is called death. The last cover, that is called Anandamaya. The first is Annamaya, the last Anandamaya. In between, there are three: Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. They call it Sukshma Sarira, subtle body. One is gross body, Annamaya, then subtle body, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and then come Karanamaya, causal body, and that is Anandamaya. That is the cause for all these. This Sukshma Sarira, the subtle thing, it never changes. It is there, always. So when we die, either they bury or they burn the external cover of the person. That is called Annamaya, and that we generally call as Mrityu, the death. The Kathopanishad, we have already read it just recently. Nachiketa was asking this question: is there anything that survive after death? And in answer, we know that Yama, the king of death, he said, I will tell you what is death and what is liberation, mukti. Yasya abhijnanat cha maranam prapya. There is a knowledge of eternity. Without knowing that, when one dies, that means gives up the body, and his subtle body, that three, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, they survive. And they again continue to search for another new body. They go to that body. Then again it takes birth. Again they go according to their karma, whatever the impressions were there in the mind. Again they give up their first body, that is Annamaya Kosha. And if they are not knowing the truth, the knowledge, the God, the realization of the Supreme, then again they travel and travel. It continues, and that is called Mrityu. And here it says very clearly, without knowing this truth, if you die, that is called Mrityu. But Tatriva Samabanti Ante Na Utkramanti, Brihadaranya Upanishad said. But suppose you have realized that, there is no going up and down. That is the end of it. So we are traveling again and again. The subtle body is traveling again and again. And every time we are taking an outer cover, without the outer cover we cannot perform our duties. That is necessary. Though the outer cover has nothing to do. Like a car, the engine is the main. All the technology that works inside, the main. But outer cover is also necessary, otherwise it won't move. The outer cover is the body. Though it is not very important, but that is also necessary to move. And activated by Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. And in the Pranamaya, there are all impressions are there. Manomaya, that is holding all the impression, activities are going on. It continues. But suppose we realize the truth, then there is no go. So all these four, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, they stop functioning. Only one thing remains, Anandamaya. And that is called the Mukti. Knowing that other bodies merges in the source. And no more creation ends liberation. So this is called, the Master Maharshi was wondering, so where does the soul go This is the two condition. One, they call again in another place, they call it, they go to Pitriloka following the path of the moon. And another, they go to Suryaloka following the path of God. So Devoyana and Pitriyana following the path of the moon and the path of the sun. In different expression, different way, they say the two movement. One who is moving towards the moon, the path of moon, they go to Pitriloka, means again you will have to come back. You go and take a little rest. When all those things are over, then again come back. Why? Because immediately after happening all those things, we get disgusted. Oh, this is the life I don't like to live. So that is the mental condition. Then as if the God gives some healing time. Go and take a little rest. So we go and then slowly we come down. Again all those impressions come, it becomes strong, and again we come back. Again take the body. It goes on and on like this. But those who realize God, they go to Devaloka. Why Suryaloka? Because the light. It is not that this sun, only the symbolic, original light, the light that is the symbol of knowledge, the knowledge that I am one and I am not two. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, after this he is talking to, he was saying to himself, soliloquizing, still filled with the divine power, body and the soul. These are the two things. The body was born and it will die. Body, Annamaya Kosha. And the soul, the three other koshas, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. The body was born and it will die. But for the soul, there is no death. So it goes on traveling. But if you know, so he says, as long as man associate himself with upadhis, as because he is in the Keshav's house and is going to meet the Keshav, Keshav has already come, and seeing Sri Ramakrishna in a loud voice, he was telling, I am here, sir, I am here. The Keshav was telling, but Sri Ramakrishna was in a different mood. He was not noticing that way that Keshav has come, and he was going on telling this, as long as a man associates himself with the upadhis. What are the upadhis? Or all these things that we associate ourselves. I am a knowledgeable person, I am a rich person, I know so many things, I don't know so many things, I am poor, I am rich, I am man, I am a woman, and all those things, whatever we think is nothing but going on an impression on that. That is called upadhi. There is a name that is original. But from that name again, so many things goes on happening. The graduate, then one thing, BA, MA, then master, then this, then that, goes on adding with the name. So it is called upadhi, associated. And also in that our Indian language, the upadhi means the surname. That is not actually my name. My name is different. But the surname is associated with the family. So that is called upadhi, the surname. Sri Ramakrishna is telling here this particular associating himself with the upadhis means when a person is associated with the ahamkara, with the ego, that I am this, and I am this. Then he is telling that as long as you are associating what you see, so long he sees the manifold, so many different things, such as Keshav, Prasanna, Amri, all these different names, different forms, different other histories. But on attaining perfect knowledge, look at it, what the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad said, That exactly same thing Sri Ramakrishna is telling, that when he attained the perfect knowledge, he sees only one consciousness everywhere. The same perfect knowledge again makes him realize that the one consciousness has become universe and its living beings and the 24 cosmic principles. This is the cosmic principles, that means how the creation was created according to the Samkhya philosophy. Samkhya philosophy, it says that there are 24 causes for the creation. I am not going to discuss about that. Now, this Samkhya philosophy, they say 24, he is mentioning 24 cosmic principles. But the manifestation of divine power are different in different beings. Again, he is giving another immediately. This is the uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna. He always gives the complete idea. Whatever he says, whenever he says, he always concludes. Now he says, if you are associated with the I-ness, the ego, you see many. And when you see many, so obviously there will be anger, there will be love, there will be association, there will be disassociation, and all those things will go on. So sometimes it is happiness, sometimes it is misery. It will continue. If you see the one, that is the perfect knowledge, from one everything has come. Sometimes people call God has created. Sometimes we say Ishwar. Sometimes we call it Atma, Brahman, Bhagavan. So this way, all the creation, but one, it is nothing two. And then you need not to bother about the second birth. It goes on. Now the creation, inside the creation, we find someone is very intelligent, someone not. So there he says, it is he undoubtedly who has become everything. God has created all these different things, but it is one. This is one knowledge. Again, another step ahead, that God has become everything. God is one, but the same one has become so many. Sri Ramakrishna said that is big jnana. Jnana and big jnana. What is jnana? Jnana is the God is one, and big jnana, the same one has become each and every one that we see. That is called big jnana. So in the big jnana, in that knowledge of that particular spiritual science, when we know that one has become many, there comes a doubt. And that exactly what Vidyasagar expressed, that doubt. He said, can it be true that God has endowed some with greater power and some with less? Because we see that some people are having greater power. They have different type of capacities. Some people can understand things so easily and clearly, and very fast. Some people cannot. Even if you give some money and ask them to do some business, they won't be. And some people without money even, they start doing this and become very successful. There are so many rags to riches stories are there. And how it is possible? Because of his convictions, because of his efforts and all. Why not others? This is the difference. There are so many people, they are singing, but one or two became so famous. Why? Because the manifestation of the power of God is more. So that is the way. The Vidyasagar, the one lady came to some of our monk and said, Swamiji, I like your lecture very much, to attend to your lecture. Swamiji was happy naturally, if you come and say like that. Then she explained, that was very terrible. She told, because in your lecture, there is very few people attend. So I can look at it. The Swami told the second portion you should not have said anyway. So there are some people, when they speak, there is not a single seat vacant. They have that capacity, and that is the power of God manifesting through them. That is sure. But the problem with that person, if he is not understanding that, then comes the ego, then once again go back to square one. And then again from the scrap you have to start. It goes on like this. So that is why the last that they say that hurdle race, the last hurdle for a monk who has lived a holy life all through is name and fame. The last hurdle, Ranganathananda ji, Lokesh Chandra ji, they used to tell us all the time, that is the last hurdle, the name and fame. When the people are coming and appreciating you, constantly following you, then slowly that ego comes. Be very, very careful. Always go and pray to God. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when many people started coming to him, he ran to the Divine Mother, Ma Kali, and said, Mother, don't give this external thing to me. Give all that power inside. So that was his power. When Sri Ramakrishna wanted to give, he tempted young man, Narendranath, I will give you all this power to you. Will you take it? He was really a Shishya. And immediately he said, is it going to give me the God realization? No. But you will be very, very famous in the whole world and you can do so many things with this spiritual power. He refused. I don't need that. So that is the test. And here Sri Ramakrishna is explaining, undoubtedly, who has become everything, but in some cases there is a greater manifestation than in others. Vidyasagar questioned. In reply, Sri Ramakrishna said, if that were not so, how is it that one man may be stronger than 50? If that were not the case, again, how is it that we have all come to hear and to see you? Vidyasagar. He was a very famous man, educated person. So we have come to you for what? That means the special power. The soul through which God sports is endowed with his special power. The landlord may reside in any part of his state, but he is generally to be found in the particular drawing room. The devotee is God's drawing room. God loves to sport in the heart of his devotee. It is there that his special power is manifest. Sri Ramakrishna is in a very simple and unique way, he says, now the king is everywhere in the kingdom. It is his kingdom. He may be anywhere, anytime. But people can go and meet him in a special room, the drawing room where he likes to see it. His more presence is there. Similarly, God is everywhere. His presence is in every being, right from the ant up to the dinosaurs, everywhere. We can just say like that, the smallest and the biggest. But his presence is more palpable in the heart of a devotee who is going on meditating and remembering God. How he will know the devotee? Because he will not have any consciousness about himself or herself, only about the God, God and God. So, whoever goes to that person, he feels about the presence of God, hears about the God. What is the sign of such a devotee? Sri Ramakrishna is asking the question and answering. What is the sign of such a devotee? When you see a man doing great works, you may know that God's special power is manifested through him. The primordial power, in Sanskrit it call it Adya Shakti, the primordial power, and the supreme Brahman, are identical. Now again he is shifting to another philosophical question. If Brahman is inactive, how these things are happening? In the Hinduism, they always say everything is coming from the Brahman. And Brahman is inactive. Brahman has no desire. In that case, naturally the question comes, if the Brahman, all-pervading consciousness, is inactive, where from the creation came? The answer is the primordial energy, Adya Shakti, the power of that Supreme Brahman, it is coming and activated. Are they two different? No, they are same. Sri Ramakrishna is telling like that, you can never think of the one without the other. They are like the gem and the brilliance. One cannot think of the brightness without the gem, or of the gem without the brightness. Again, it is like the snake and its wriggling motion. It is the primordial power that has become the universe and its living beings and the 24 cosmic principles. It is the cause of involution and evolution. I was giving a talk in that in Ann Arbor University about the Hinduism. It is naturally, it's very difficult to explain about Hinduism. Why? The vastness. Why? Because the wonderful way it has been explained and so difficult to understand. If we say God has created this universe, it becomes so easy. And we know there is a person who is the maker, and this is what he has made. Very clear. Now here we say it is the Brahman, which is the source of everything, but inactive. Now again, it is the Brahman's power that is creating, sustaining, destroying. It has become everything, and again it goes back to the Brahman, and again comes out. Involution, evolution. Difficult to understand, but this is the truth. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to answer the philosophical question. Anything that is created is having two things. One, who is the creator and with what he is creating. With the iron, with the wood, with the mud, what? So obviously a material cause and the intellectual cause. If you say that God is the intellectual cause, what is the material cause? Out of what the God has made? Oh, there was these, there was these, there was these. If they were there before the creation of God or at the same time of God, obviously two entities. The moment the conception of two comes, there comes the fight, and one is going to be destroyed. So obviously, philosophically, you cannot say that God created out of nothing. How it is possible? Something cannot be created out of nothing. There must be something. Now we come back to the same question. We have no doubt to believe that God has created, but sir, out of what? Here the Vedanta gives that answer. It says out of its own self. But how? With its power. And the power and the God are different. Then he is giving the example like the brilliance of a gem. The gem and the brilliance are one, but at the same time they are different. Suppose we put a lamp over here. It's a dark room. The brightness of the lamp lighting the room and the lamp are one, but at the same time they are different. So this way we have to understand that they are different. This universe and nothing, but the creation of God, but they are not God. Swami Vivekananda, he wrote a wonderful poem. He explained this, that God has created everything, but at the same time, all these things are not God. But it was a bit confusing. So one disciple, lady disciple, she wrote back to Swamiji, so I have understood you. Now, everything that I see is nothing but the God, right? So, God has become everything and everything is God, right? Then to reply her, Swamiji wrote a wonderful question. And there he said, by the side of Ganga, one Pandit was explaining Ramayana. And after explaining all these things, when he stopped, after 2-3 hours of deliberation, then one raised his hand and said, I have understood the Ramayana. But only one question, who was Sita? I have understood the whole of Ramayana, but only one, just quick question. In this country they say, quick question, what is that? Who is the Sita? Sita, without Sita there is no Ramayana. But if you have not understood the Sita, then what happens? This Swamiji wrote just like that, a wonderful poem. If you read that Swamiji's book, that a few poems are there, wonderfully written. And if you read the original, then that's in English. So you can read that and can enjoy. So it goes back to the same square one. Here also we have to understand and keep it in mind that each and everything is nothing but the manifestation of God. But they are not God. Why? Because they are temporary. Within that, there is a wonderful thing that is called the soul. That is permanent. It goes back to the souls. Now, in the modern times, it has become very easy to explain. Now, we see so many lights, electrical apparatus, different. Sometimes the fan, sometimes the TV, sometimes the heater, sometimes the bulbs and the tube lights, so many varieties of names and forms. But one thing is common. In the Bhagavad Gita it says, Sutre, Maniganaiva, the manis, all the different jewelries, that are all different. Different shape, different shade, different color, but inside that there is a sutra, there is a thread which is holding everything and making a girdle. And similarly, all these things that we see, within that there is electricity. But if we think that particular bulb is electricity, wrong. Electricity is there, present. But this bulb is not that electricity, isn't it? So this way we can understand that the God's power is present in every being. God has created every being, but that cannot be God. Within that there is a soul which is that goes back. So in the primordial power that has become the universe and its living being and the 24 cosmic principles, it is the cause of involution and evolution. When you put up the switch, involution, the electricity goes back. And when we put on the switch, again evolution, it comes out. So the modern science, it has become very easy for the Vedanta to explain, taking the help of the science. And why do I feel so restless for Rakal, Narendra and the other youngsters? Now he is explaining, every time the contemporary people do not understand the great souls because their behavior is totally different type. So Hazra once asked me, Hazra Mahashay, almost all of us we know him, when will you think of God? If you are always anxious about these boys? Keshav and others, they smiled because Keshav's spiritual attainment was very high. They understood immediately. That worried me greatly, Sri Ramakrishna is telling. When he put that question, you are thinking about these worldly people, and you are not thinking about the God. What will happen to you? He is asking Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, just like a very innocent boy, he became greatly worried, and he went to the Divine Mother and asked, Mother, see what a fix I am in. Hazra scolds me because I worry about these young men. Afterwards, I asked Bholanath about it. Bholanath was also a very spiritually and also scripturally advanced person. He said to me that such a state of mind is described in the Mahabharata. How else will a man established in samadhi occupy his mind in the phenomenal world after coming down from samadhi? This is important. A person whose mind constantly practicing meditation and concentrating his mind on the God becomes very subtle. Now, after coming down, when there is a very gross expression of the worldly things, it becomes very difficult for him to cope with that. It needs a little higher, a little subtle thing. Suppose a painter, if you talk about all the time guns and the war and the politics, he will say, sir, okay, thank you. You know so many things, but I don't know much about it. I like to talk about painting. Do you know anything about the painting? The painting, that's a wastage of time. Don't do that. So how you will become the friend? So we know we have to have someone who can understand my views, my ideas. I can talk to them in that way. So that is essential, that is necessary. A man is known by his company. In English, they say. So you can understand that particular person seeing his friends, his company. Some people are different type. So you can understand, oh, that man. And some people who loves to hear about God, listen about God, different type of philosophy, different type of views, they will be running here and there. When I was young, I used to, at the time of studying in the college, I used to see in the newspaper advertisement about spiritual discourses. And wherever there is a spiritual discourse near our residence, I used to go and listen. Sometimes 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes not all the speakers were eloquent, so it was a little bit of boring sometimes. But anyway, I used to enjoy. One person was delivering a lecture, then one lady sitting just in front was snoring. Then he stopped talking and asked a young boy, his grandson, who was sitting and playing with something. He said, hey, boy, ask your grandma to wake up. Then he said, you have put her into sleep. Now it is your duty to. So that is the sometimes some people who, when they are talking, they are actually a torture almost. So 1 hour is not a matter of joke to listen to that type of talks. So one should be, but still I used to go and love to listen to all those things. Why? The samskara was there. So like this, we go according to our past impressions, and whenever there was a monk is coming, listen. So that way, and he is telling, this is also that. And when you feel that those people are coming who is having that type of, so naturally these people whose minds are highly placed with God, they like them. It's not the differences, oh, I like because of these, or not like that. So here they say, why do I feel so restless for Rakal, Narendra, and he said, Mother, see what a fix I am in. Hazra is scolding, then Bholanath said, in the Mahabharata it says, how else will the man established in samadhi occupy his mind in the phenomenal world after coming down from samadhi? When Sri Ramakrishna himself, after realization of through different paths he traveled, and then he said, everything is over. All paths are leading to the same goal. I have realized it. Now everything is over. Why should I live in this body? The moment the body is there, hunger is there, disease is there, pain is there, so many other problems. Then from the floor, a white smoke came out. Still that room is there. If you go, I really feel scared to stand on that, because there itself it came. And he saw that Rishi who told him, you must live for the betterment of this world. You have to spread this message. But you should live in Bhava Mukha. If you read the great master, you will find this word. And the big chapter on that, Bhava Mukha. That means in the threshold, living on the threshold of the eternity and also the phenomena. So Sri Ramakrishna lived in that way. Every time he used to go into Samadhi and coming back. When Mother, Ma Saradamani Devi, after the passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, she was thinking, what for this life now? Why should I survive? Then the Sri Ramakrishna appeared to, no, you have to live, you have to work for these people. Look at these people, how they are living. The wretched life, constantly thinking about the food and the body and nothing else. They are living a life of animals. You have to give them the knowledge. Mother told, that is not my job, I don't like to do that. Then Sri Ramakrishna created that Mahamaya, the Radhi, Radha, that mother, she was not insane, but gave a birth of a child, the girl, and the girl was crying and crawling on the floor and trying to follow the mother. The mother was that mad, so naturally she was not paying any attention. And Holy Mother, Ma Saradamani Devi, sitting in one place, looking at that, couldn't restrain herself, went and took up that little baby girl. Immediately Sri Ramakrishna manifested and said, this is Mahamaya. I am giving her to you. Keep your mind on her and survive. So this, she created so much of problem. When you read, we think, oh my God, why Mother used to keep her? If she was not there, it would have been very difficult for Mother to keep her mind, because it is constantly traveling back to the super consciousness. The moment it goes to that level, you forget about yourself, you forget about the body. And obviously, body needs food, needs care. If that is not there, it will die. So that is the reason these people, they always keep their mind on the holy souls. And Hazra is not to blame, he told. Hazra is not to blame. During the period of struggle, one should follow the method of discrimination. Not these, and direct the whole mind to God. But the state of perfection is quite different. After reaching God, one refrains what formerly was denied. That is called Vijnani Avastha. At the time of reaching to that position, people said, don't come. Like that, they deny. But after reaching there is no problem. Sri Ramakrishna also said in the beginning, you must give a protection for the small sprout that is coming up. But when it becomes a strong tree, you don't need to do anything. Even the elephant cannot do any harm to that tree. It has become very strong. Similarly, at the spiritual level, you must have a guru, you must have a guide, you must have one philosophy and follow that. Slowly, when you become established, realized, you are feeling within that this is the path that has given me the solace, my peace. Then if you visit different places, no problem for you, because you will see the same oneness in different. But in the beginning, if you go on reading comparative religion, then it will be very difficult. And usually the mind, when I also started writing from different religion, comparative religion, then my guy, the senior Gokulanandaji Maharaj told, not now. When the time will come, then you can read all this. Now only read those things which has been mentioned, uttered, written down by the realized people. Their words carrying the spirituality, like the Brahmananda ji, Brother Lawrence. In the Christianity, many books we read, Philokalia, all the Russian saints, Christian saints, but their realizations are so same to the Indian realizations. And the lives of the different saints and sages. So that gives a confidence. Oh, if they could do, I can also do. If they have realized, I can also realize. So that way you go on, then take one path, one philosophy, one idea, one teaching, continue in that. Reach over there, then you are free to understand. Suppose I am 6 months I am reading with chemistry, then another 6 months philosophy, another 6 months something else, jack of all trades, the master of none. So like that. Even sometimes completely ruined brain, he cannot do anything. So that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna is telling like this. It is necessary, not this, not this. This is not God, this is not God. It goes on like that. A time comes, everything is nothing but the same God. One Swami Premananda ji, he was a vegetarian. And he never touched fish and all. He was very pure. And he was also coming from the background, the Vaishnava background. The last day of Swami Vivekananda, he asked Premananda ji to sit by his side at a time of lunch. And he asked for a fish, a big piece of fish. And he took that fish and gave it to Premananda ji, just left on his plate. And he was smiling. What Premananda ji will do? Without hesitation, Premananda ji ate that. Why? You have touched this. It has become prasad, is sanctified, and I don't care what I am eating. I know that I am eating touched by God. Who? Vivekananda. He was his brother disciple. But he knew Vivekananda is nothing but Sri Ramakrishna. So that is the idea. The moment you have that idea, there is no problem. He was very fastidious all the time. He used to see that everything about Sri Ramakrishna must be very neat, clean, properly kept, not used for something else. Puja vessels. One day, Swami Vivekananda's disciple, who was from Bangladesh, so Swami Vivekananda used to call him Bengal. So, hey, Bengal. And Bengal, he wanted to worship his guru, Swami Vivekananda, and in Bangladesh, the system is to wash the feet of the guru. Here also, this time when I went to Detroit, I am having some disciples. They wanted to have that, and not with water, something else. So they gave the flower and all. That is necessary. Another boy, he was sitting by my side. He told, why you allowed them to do that? Why? Because that is their way of showing their respect. If you stop that, then they will not understand what to do. Nabuddhi Vedam janayet ajnana karma sanginam. In Bhagavad Gita, it says, when a person is having that much devotion, and if you withdraw that from him, then where he will go? Slowly they will understand. So wait and see how they develop. But anyway, that Bengal, he brought one plate which is used for Sri Ramakrishna puja. And he kept that and asked the Swamiji to put his feet on that. Swamiji told, my God, this is used in the Sri Ramakrishna puja. If you do that, and Premananda will kill you. He'll be so angry. Anyway, he has already started doing, so do it quickly before Premananda comes. But whenever you think, oh, there should not be any tiger, the tiger comes. So similarly, Premananda ji came there. And Swamiji, he said, see, I did nothing. This fellow, he brought it, and then he is doing it. I told him that is Thakur's. Then what was the answer of Premananda ji? That is the spirituality. And we behave as if so narrow, but when time comes, immediately we know that this is the broadness of heart and the thought. He said, are you and Sri Ramakrishna different? You and Sri Ramakrishna are one. Are you different? He has done the right thing. When he is using the plate that is used for Sri Ramakrishna, that can be used for you too. And he was his brother disciple, not his own disciple. So that was the idea. When you know, everything is open and clear. And this Premananda ji, he told like that, and here Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling that during the period of struggle to go towards the God, the people say, not this, not, I should not eat this, I should not touch that, I should not visit there, I should not wear this. It goes on. But a time comes and all these things become nothing but the play of God. That is not affecting your mind. And he says in this way, he is manifested more clearly in others, less clearly. When a flood comes, then he keeps. That is his own. Giving an example, and I will conclude. Then maybe after 3 months, I am today so happy when I saw that one. So today is the last class, and after 3 months there will be suspension. It's just like getting the vacation, that joy. Oh, after 3 months afterwards. When a flood comes from the ocean, all the land in deep underwater. Before the flood, the boat could have reached the ocean only by following the winding course of the river. See how he has observed. He is from a village. He observed all this. When there is no flood, when the boat is trying to reach the ocean, it is only taking the course of the river in a different way. But when is a flood, one can row straight to the ocean. And that means when the love for God, the realization of God, not there, we take some courses and we follow that. But if there is a flood of love, realization, and then we see everything is nothing but God. Wherever you go, whatever you do, nothing but puja, nothing but the worship. That he is asking us to reach. You must do this and be free. Thank you for attending. Now, friends, I try to explain each and every word as far as possible, and as my knowledge, as per my knowledge, whatever Sri Ramakrishna said in this book, I try to get the similar things from different scriptures. And this is really very difficult, because if it is not supported by the scriptures, many of the people, that is nothing, anyone can say like that. No, in the same scripture, different time, the truth that came out, that is referred by Sri Ramakrishna, who never read scripture. But all this revelation came within him directly, so we can call him the Rishi. And whatever Rishi says is Veda. So I gave the name Panchama Veda, the 5th book of knowledge, because it is from the revelation, not from intellect, not after reading, but after realization. So it is so true and so strong, so powerful, but at the same time, all the time we try to get it how others in different times, they also realized the same thing. Truth is one. Whoever realizes in whatever places and whatever time, it must be the same. So that is why I try to do it. You will be happy. Some of the devotees, they record it, keep it, and then every 25 lectures, they put it in a DVD. That is also available. Those who cannot regularly attend, they like to listen from there. The Gospel is a wonderful book, the one should read. And about this rebirth, that is also very unique. I will suggest you Satprakashananda, Swami Satprakashananda, How is a Man Reborn? There's a book like that. Life Beyond Death by Swami Abhedananda. And then Mystery of Death by Swami Abhedananda. Problem of Life and Death, Swami Paramananda. And Life After Death by Swami Vivekananda. All these are available in our bookstore. You can understand what is there after this body goes. Now let us chant and conclude. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigraham Vai Ishavattaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.